Oh my goodness, Anna, I have to show your photos. It's I make it sound like an onerous duty. It is the opposite of that. Thank you so much. What a delight. What a delight. And I'm continuing to do the work as suggested by Neville Goddard. And this is proof alone that what you focus on, you magnify and bring into your life. Life is good. And there are some pictures from the Algarve to prove it. Let me just load these up because I've got lots of lovely springtime pictures to share with you as well. And this whole thing about dirty cash here in Portugal, hilarious news item this morning from Euro Weekly News. We don't often go there for news, but it was something that was reported on in the Portugal news. So I went straight to the source. But here are your beautiful pictures, Anna. Let's dwell on these for a moment. Isn't that wonderful? Absolutely beautiful. The legend for that. You are a legend, and your words about it are a nice photo. It's more than nice. From last night's sunset from Quarteira. Did you have a nice day? If you're here in Portugal, how was your day? And the moon this morning. That's the moon I'll show you now. The moon, a sliver of a thing in the sky this morning. What time was that, Anna? That probably wasn't that long ago, was it? Thank you so much. Pictures, videos, messages, please, on WhatsApp, 913-590-303. Let me do that again, 913-590-303. And maybe slower, 913-590-303. That's sounding a lot like radio and TV. Now, I was on British television yesterday. This is a funny old world, isn't it? We went from, what would it be? In the morning, 20 or 30 people watching live, and people watch later, and we'll get an audience for each daily show of between 100 and 200. Suddenly, and this is how I discovered myself how many people I was in front of on British television yesterday morning, and I will show you the video. I was asked by the wonderful Kit, Sam and Kit, but Samantha, who you saw on the show, who's published the book about chair dancing, which is, I believe, on Routledge, if I remember correctly, and it's being published all over the world. Her wonderful guide to chair dancing, chair-based dancing, seated dance, I should call it, seated dance. And she said, "We've got the British TV coming over. Do you fancy being part of it?" Well, you know me. Yes. Where do you want me? And I'm happy to get involved. And it became very real. The day I was told to be there, I think 10:30. I like to be early for things, generally speaking. I don't know if that's your experience of me or not. Not this morning, right? 1 minute past 8, Portuguese. I like to be early. Went for me, if I can get a chicken pie in the morning to go with a galão or a meia de leite, that's my breakfast. And that's where I had it. And look, that's how the day began here in San Martinho de Porto yesterday. And actually, later on in the day, this is what it looked like. This is the Atlantic Road going looking towards Foz de Relho, the Berlinga Islands there, Berlinga Islands, over towards the Óbidos Lagoon. Foz de Relho is a fantastic road. It's incredible. And in Caldas de Rainha yesterday, there was a sea of daisies in the park, in the Dom Carlos Park. Absolutely beautiful day yesterday. And that's how it began in San Martinho de Porto yesterday morning. And finally, when it's a funny old world, isn't it? I mean, there I am. It turns out on British TV, and part of my morning was to go and put some laundry on. We've got a bit of a build up in the. There's a lot of kids here, and there's a lot of washing to do. So I thought I'd just do a bit in the laundrette whilst hanging about in town waiting for the TV crew. It's a glamorous life, so put some clothes in the laundrette as well whilst I was waiting. And eventually we stood on the beach with the TV crew. Fantastic bunch of folks. Really, really enjoyed meeting them and talking to them about how they managed to do a live broadcast. We're all about the live broadcasting here and outside broadcasting. They, yesterday, were broadcasting back to the UK on the mobile network. I discovered that the way they do it is that they have a kind of dongle that it consists of 8 SIM cards that splits the signal up and can deliver it back to the UK or probably anywhere in the world that's connected to the network, the mobile phone network. These 8 SIM cards just break it up digitally and have the moving pictures, the movie pictures going back to the studio with just a 1 second latency in very high quality. So it was really great from that point of view to find out a little bit more and hang out with some big boys in the broadcasting world. And I'm on the beach, and we've been told what we're going to do, and there's been a bit of a rehearsal, and we get to meet the star of the show, Jake. It was a really nice bloke, and they were all, I think, enjoying being here. They're working, of course. They don't get time to enjoy the beach like we do, but they got some great footage, and they managed to do what they wanted to do. And I didn't really know who they were, so I whispered over to Sam, okay, what is this for? And she said, "Oh, it's this morning. ITV's this morning." It didn't matter to me. I'd be happy to be involved and see what was going on and have a bit of fun. And it's like, this morning? Yes, this morning, 700,000 people watched this show in the UK. Hence my message on Facebook. Let's find out who watches this morning. And so that did go through my mind. Oh, okay, this is live, and it is for this morning. And 700,000 people allegedly watched this show with Kat Deely as the presenter, Ben Shepherd, I think. It was the show, of course, where Holly and Pip were presenters until all of that awful business. Anyway, here's from a 2-hour TV show. This is my bit from yesterday, if I may indulge myself and share with you how I was sharing the Silver Coast and experience of life here in Portugal, and specifically in São Martinho de Porto.
And I've got Carl over here. Carl, how are you doing, buddy? I've heard you're the main man out here. You know a bit of everyone, don't you?
Well, I organise a few meetups out here, yeah.
For the Brits that come out here, you organise those meetups?
For the Brits, for sure, and, yeah, local Portuguese people as well.
What brought you out here, Carl?
Well, it's not a bad view, is it?
I mean...
I drove in 7 years ago. We're in our camper van. We drove from the UK, came to the street here, saw this view and fell in love with the place immediately.
And 100 grand, good way to start out here?
I think you could probably enjoy a few happy hours. Looking at the sunset here.
I like how you went straight to beers, Carl. I love that. Guys, if you want to win 100 grand and maybe relocate to Portugal, like Carl and like Kit, get your entries in. £100,000. What do you think of that, guys? Samantha loves it. Guys, get your entries in. Be really quick. I'll see you in a bit. Back to you guys. I'm off to go build a sandcastle. Bye, guys. Come on, guys.
Best of luck with that. Hi there, welcome back. Time to check on Jake, who has been spending his morning chatting to expats on the beach in Portugal. Hey there, Jake.
Hey Ben, you all right? I'm not on the beach anymore, but I've got a view to show you in a second. That's right, I'm bringing you £100,000 from Portugal. The competition ends on Friday at 3 p.m, so you've got to be quick with this one. Get your entries in, all tax-free cash. Now, look at this view, Ben. Kat, look at this. How beautiful is that? Just imagine waking up every single morning to that view with a nice coffee in your hand. Carl's been doing that for 7 years, hasn't you, Carl?
I have, yeah, absolutely love it.
So I've heard... in Portugal, 300 days of sunshine, is that right?
Mostly, yeah. It's been a bit of a wet winter this year, to be fair.
Look
at it now. All is forgotten.
And what about better cost of living?
No question.
And better standard of living?
Yes, yeah, for sure.
What's your favourite thing about being out here, Carl?
It's the culture and the people. It's a very friendly, very safe culture. Great place for my kids to grow up.
Amazing. And so if somebody won £100,000 and you had to give them a little bit of advice about moving to Portugal or moving abroad, what would you say to them?
I'd say get on with it.
That's it,
yeah,
simple
really
as that.
Crack on. Yes, invest that money in moving abroad and come and enjoy something like this.
There you have it, guys. Get on with it. If you win the money, you've got to enter first to win the money. Here are all the details. Get on with it. Like Carl says, just get on with it. Enter the competition.
Showbiz! How about that? Fantastic. Thank you this morning. Thanks, Sam and Kit, for the opportunity. It was so interesting. Yes, they had a big dongle. The Portuguese has only got a little dongle, as it turns out. But, you know, you can dream. You can dream. Dream big. Portuguese. And yeah, it was really great fun to be involved in that and reiterating there, Hugh, the quality of life thing. And I think it was my answer about the 300 days of sunshine was fair, was it not? I said, what's that? I said, get on with it. Move to Spain, says Mr. S. Very cool. Yes, it was. You'd have loved the kit, T-Duck. They had some fantastic kit. And thank you, Mike and Karen. Great interview, Carl. It was really good fun. I always knew you were a superstar, says the coach. And here are some lovely pictures as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity Samantha and Kit. There's Samantha, and there's Kit at the back, and we've got Jake doing the dancing. It's a seated dance, which is wonderful. That's how it all began. Interest in Samantha's book about seated dance there. So thank you, Samantha and Kit, for getting me involved. There they are again. And there's the cameraman, the crew, a lovely camera. Oh my goodness. And there's me having a chat with Jake on the edge of town there. Gary's joining us in a moment. Gary, you'll see. I don't think you've been to San Martino yet, have you? But you will see this lovely village here. So we'll see you in about 6 minutes. Gary Coulton joining me this morning. And we hope to have Stuart Noakes as well. But Stuart's in a difficult time zone. So we will check in with the Canopy community. And get you up to speed on some information actually about if you're a founder of a company, if you're a one-man brand, one-woman brand, and it's all about you and your startup, a little bit of support and help and insights from it's an article called Startup Culture over there at the Canopy community on Substack. Gary and I are on Substack as well and loving that experience. We might talk about that this morning as well. What an incredible platform Substack is. We've got some lovely comments. I want to talk to you about dirty cash as well. Good morning to you, Pam Smith. How are you this morning? Pete, your comments are noted, of course. You wouldn't expect me to splatter them over the video output I just shared there. Be nice. Carl, the first recorded weather in Ireland was January 1682 in Kilkenny. It sounds like the start of an Irish story, doesn't it? That's roughly centre of Ireland, was found in a diary the guy wrote. First recorded weather in a diary in 1682. Really? We'll Google it later. 'Tis wet. Maybe. It's a little damp this morning, so it is. And João Ernesto in with a slightly Irish, slightly pirate, obviously in 1682. Pão de Alegria, Portugal as well. And who's this? I think I remember these people. Does anyone else remember Lord and Lady Travanca? It's a vague memory. Just we're only kidding. Great to have you back from Lake Como, Italy, named after the popular singer Perry Como. Of course, Bob Wenger in this morning. Bon dia todos, up, stretched. Who doesn't like to be up and stretched first thing in the morning? Barefoot grounding and balanced. He's had a passive hang this morning. Rocking and rolling today. It's a great day to be. Woohoo! Not at all. What's this? Okay. Not all is rainbows and unicorns, but I choose. Yeah, well done, John. Seriously, the work of Neville Goddard. Oh my goodness, everything is about focus. I choose today to focus on the positive, Pam, and I finally have our IRN appointments in Vienna tomorrow. Woohoo! Well done. Enjoy your meeting with IRN. What else? What's the alternative, basically? And a couple more comments then before we have a look at this dirty cash. Oh, where were you, Lee? Did you miss my This Morning segment there? Who is Gary? You'll find out in just a moment. Portuguese, you mentioned him yesterday. You hung out with him last week. It was the meeting which you called the ADHD support group, which wasn't the scheduled title, but I guess it turned into that, and we're having another one soon as well. Greetings from the Algarve. Sun at last, although still very cold. Elaine, lovely to see you this morning. And Carl, BBC Stopping Blue Peter, a childhood memory from the 1970s. Sounds like you're not over it. Yeah, but Blue Peter, I think, went beyond the 1970s, didn't it? Is that when it stopped for you, Deagle? Right, okay. Oh, and Mel, good morning to you. Lovely feedback from your segment on our YouTube channel from yesterday, Mel. Right, just quickly then, Dirty Cash. This is a very interesting article. We go to Euro Weekly News for this. Somewhere we don't go very often, but it can be a good source. I think mainly for Spain. Oh, hold on, that's not the right one. Mainly for Spain rather than Portugal, but sometimes there's an interesting bit of Portuguese news, as there is this morning. So if I can actually get it on the screen, I will share it with you. Yes, burying cash cost Portugal millions, apparently. This is a funny old habit. Popping it onto the screen now. And we've got the headline, yeah, burying cash cost Portugal millions. This was published a few days ago. Over the last decade, the Bank of Portugal has been inundated with deteriorated banknotes as a result of people burying cash or stashing it in risky places. Ooh. Since 2014, the central bank has exchanged more than 317,000 damaged notes worth around, and that's the deal, isn't it? If you've got a damaged note, you can take it back to your local central bank, I suppose, and get it exchanged for a good one if it appears to be a kosher note, that is, worth around, check this out. So that those damaged notes since 2014, just over 10 years, 13.8 million euros, many of which were unearthed after being hidden underground, which begs the question, how much more is there out there? Buried or hidden, how cash ends up ruined in Portugal. Most of these notes are ruined by humidity when people bury them. Yes, like everything else at times here in Portugal. Moldy money, explained José Luis Ferreira, coordinator of Banco de Portugal's operational area. Interesting titles. Insects, soil, moisture, and time cause irreversible damage, as it does to us all. While burying money is the most common cause, creativity knows no bounds. Forgotten stashes have been found in microwaves, fireplaces, and even septic tanks. Pooh! So Ferreira suggests the practice often stems from distrust of banks or a need to feel prepared for emergencies. Now, we were doing a house sit. And we thought, because the homeowners said to us, "Oh, just help yourself to what's in the freezer, the fridge and freezer." I opened up a box of ice cream. There's 1,500 euros in there. A good example. And of course, we told them that they'd forgotten their 1,500 euros. I think it was something like that. There's a lot of money in there. Anyway, all we wanted was a nice bit of, vanilla ice cream, some gelado baunilha in there, but there was cash instead. So here we go. In 2024 alone, over 40,000 damaged banknotes were exchanged, the highest figure in a decade. It's interesting, isn't it? Amounting to 1.7 million. Most were... do they file a report? It's interesting, isn't it? And I guess if people were trying to hide the money, having to take it into the bank might be a little stressful for them. Most were 20 and 50 notes. The rise follows a pandemic-era spike as people chose to keep more cash at home during uncertain times. It's what humans do. After the pandemic, we saw people coming in with damaged notes, seeking to recover their value, Ferreira said. Past events have also fueled this trend. In 2018, the devastating fires of 2017, over 32,000 notes were recovered, totaling more than 1.7 million, including one case where a sawmill owner lost 40 grand to a safe damaged by flames. Lucky not to lose it. I mean presumably it's just charred. The process of evaluating damaged notes is rigorous and consistent across the Eurozone. To be refunded, more than 50% of the note must be present and identifiable as genuine, in case you need to know. Advanced Portuguese developed software aids the team in analyzing fragments to ensure authenticity, what a stressful process, and prevent fraud. We sometimes receive sophisticated forgeries disguised as damaged notes, but our robust control process catches them all. Got to catch them all. For now, the Bank of Portugal continues to advise against keeping large sums of money hidden away at home, especially underground. People still believe it's safer, Ferreira adds, but it comes at a high price. Thank you, Euro Weekly News, for that. Hilarious and interesting too. We go now. Sorry to keep you waiting, Gary Coulton. We're going to bring you onto the screen now. Now you'll remember him, Portuguese. A nice big round of applause. Morning, Gary.
Good morning, sir.
It would be indelicate and rude of me to ask you if you stash any money underground. It's a gentleman's secret,